A famous young writer once visited my MFA program in Oregon. A few years earlier, she had published a short story collection that won several prestigious prizes and was passed around with awe among the writers in my workshop. Now she was touring on behalf of her debut novel. This writer burst into our quiet, often humble writing program with all the flair of a person who didn't have to prove anything to anyone, especially us. Her first event on campus was a graduate students-only session, in which the students sat lined at a series of long tables. The writer sat on a table at the front. She said she was going to be honest with us. She would tell us the story of how she got where she was, because we deserved to know how things worked. The writer, like us, had attended a funded MFA program. Like us, she had worked on short stories there. The difference arose when one of the writer's short stories caught her professor's attention. The professor forwarded that story to an editor at a famous magazine. The magazine published it. An agent read the story, contacted the writer, and signed her. The writer finished her collection, and the agent sold it. She told us the number of her advance. We gasped. "In conclusion," the writer said, "I have never submitted to the slush pile." We groaned. Or we held in our groans because at least she had been honest with us. But her honesty hurt. The story was all so achingly true. My classmates and I sat there feeling hamstrung, the whole discouraged lot of us. We were submitting our writing. We had dreams of getting published. But the writer had shared the reality of a literary fame we could only dream of. Now we understood its angles, its improbability. We couldn't help but resent the writer's generous act of sharing her story. Well, I couldn't help but resent it. That was because I hadn't yet grasped an essential fact about publishing. There is another way, and that way can be even more rewarding than the famous writers. This book is about that other way. This way involves submitting to the slush pile, yes, but I don't call it the slush pile. I call it finding a home for your writing,